What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Mr. Back out with another video, and today we're continuing, no, not continuing, we are actually starting a brand new series, and we have a bracket type thing series of all the Marvel movies and, in a tournament sort of style, and the winner of all the brackets moves on to become my favorite Marvel movie of all time. But before we get into actual beginning of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free, number two, is maybe I'll be the YouTube algorithm recommended it, and more people, maybe they could join. And do feel free to comment your list down below. With that being said, guys, I'm going to, and this is going to be a long video. But anyways, first off, we have the Avengers versus Spider-Geddon Spider-Man 2018. I've never even heard of the second one, so obviously the Avengers. Alright, which is the next tournament bracket. So we have the Hulk from 2003 with Eric Bana, or Captain America 75 Heroic Years. I've never seen that down there, so obviously Hulk from 2003, which I do think is slightly underrated, but still not great. X-Men Origins Wolverine or Amazing Spider-Man 2? Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think that movie's way too overrated nowadays, so that moves on. Ew, we got some stinkers in here. Elektra versus Kraven the Hunter. I will give Kraven its props. I do think, like, the actual action sequences themselves were quite cool with, like, all the gory kills and stuff. And I think Aaron Taylor Johnson did try, but Elektra, I think, is easily one of the worst Marvel movies out there. So for me, Kraven the Hunter moves on by a slight margin. Thor 2011 versus Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell. So that's, like, a short movie that follows the Hulk Agents of SMASH series. Obviously, Thor 2011, duh. Next up, we got Iron Man, Captain America, Heroes United, which is an animated movie that came out, and then Morbius. I'm about to make some people very, very angry, but I'm actually going to go Morbius, because I don't think Morbius is as bad as people say. Does that mean it's good? No, I just think it's okay. I don't hate it as much as other people do, and I've never seen that, so by default, that goes here. Next up, we got Agent Carter, it's the Marvel one-shot versus Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Obviously, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance will up there for one of the worst Marvel movies. Oh, this one's actually quite tough. We have Fantastic Four from 2005 or Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel from 2013. I love both of these movies, if I'm being honest. I grew up with these early Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, so I have my nostalgia for those. And this, I remember it when it premiered, and I'm a big Phineas and Ferb guy, and I actually really enjoyed this episode. This one's really tough for me. I wanted Fantastic Four to go up a little bit higher because I really do enjoy that movie. But for now, Phineas and Ferb moves on. That was really tough for me to do, but oh well. The Silver Surfer from 1992. I've never even realized that was a thing. And then I have Avengers Confidential, Black Widow, and Punisher, which I have, but I haven't seen it. So I'm going to go with this one because I never even heard the Silver Surfer thing. Ghost Rider versus Celebrating Marvel's Stan Lee. Haven't seen that, so by default, Ghost Rider moves on. Generation X. Never heard of that one. And Thor the Dark World. Thor the Dark World, even though it's bottom tier MCU, I still think that one's fairly entertaining because you have the brother dynamic between Thor and Loki. Black Widow versus the Hawkeyes, a story of Clint Barton, Kate Bishop, Black Widow. Firearm, never even heard that. Bro. Easily Spider-Man No Way Home. Next up, we have Planet Hulk, which is a little short animated movie that came out from a long time ago, and Mighty Thor Battle Royal. Never even heard of the second one, so Planet Hulk moves on. Kingsman: The Secret Service. Kingsman's Marvel? I never knew about that. Versus Fantastic Four. You could put literally... Excuse me. Okay, you could put literally anything there, and I'll pick that over Fantastic Four or Fan Four Stick. Trial of the Incredible Hulk and Fantastic Four First Steps. I actually watched this movie. It's actually quite good for a straight-to-TV movie, and I like Daredevil's involvement for that, though. But Fantastic Four First Steps was easily the first Fantastic Four movie, so it moves on. I apologize for the camera angle, by the way. I am doing this on my phone, so I apologize. Howard the Duck or Visit Kirko. Yeah, Howard the Duck. But that's not going to go very far. Iron Man 2 or Daredevil. Yeah, Iron Man 2. Never even watched that. Red Sonja, never watched that. Marvel One Shot, The Cold Consultant. I watched that, but it's been a very long time, so I'll watch that because I Lego Marvel Superheroes Guardians of the Galaxy, The Thanos Threat, or The Kingsman. Haven't seen either, but there were a couple people that said Kingsman was good, so from the people I follow. So Lego Marvel Avengers Code Red, haven't even seen that one, and then Argyle. Argyle I actually thought was fun last year, so I'll go with that. And I have had no clue that was Marvel either. Marvel Superheroes 4D, New York 2012, or Team Thor. Team Thor was actually a funny little short film, so I'm gonna go with that. Ultimate Avengers, the movie, Lego Marvel Avengers Climate. I'm gonna go Ultimate Avengers. I think that has some cool scenes in it. Incredible Hulk Returns or Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass isn't Marvel. But regardless, I do love Kick-Ass. It's like in my top 10 favorite comic book movies, so by default it goes there. Nick Fury versus Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, Spider-Man. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Never heard of that. And then Baymax Returns. I guess I'll go with that. But not by a big margin. X-Men Dark Tide or The Spider Within, a Spider-Verse story. I think I heard good things about that one, so I'm gonna go with that. Guardians of the Galaxy or Blade Bloodthirsty. I've never even watched that one. But Guardians of the Galaxy, man, come on. Give me some hard ones. Men in Black 2 or Expanding the Universe Men in Black 2, even though that is my least favorite. The Men in Black movies, X-Men from 2000 or Venom the Last Dance. I like Venom the Last Dance, but X-Men 2000 is better. Punisher from 2004 or Marvel Super... I've seen neither of these. But I heard a whole lot of people do like the Thomas Jane Punisher from 2004, so I'm going to go with that. Marvel Rising Chasing Ghosts or Spider-Ham Cottonham, I'm going to go with that. Even though I haven't seen it. Iron Man 3 or X-Men Days of Future Past. Spoilers for later on in this video, but this right here, this is going to move on quite up there. So X-Men Days of Future Past moves on. Blade or Spider-Man Far From Home? That's really tough. If it wasn't for the Blades... that's so tough. I'm going to pick Spider-Man Far From Home. I love the first Blade, but the only issue I have with that movie is the CGI of the time. I do not think it ages well. So that's the only reason why I picked Spider-Man From Home. But I still love the first Blade. Captain America from 1990 or Spider-Man Spider-Verse? Into the Spider-Verse for sure. Marvel Rising, Secret Warriors, or Werewolf by Night. This was actually a pretty solid special the year it came out, so I enjoyed that. Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned. Never seen it, but Marvel one-shot, obviously. Doctor Strange from 1978 and Stan Lee from 2023. Haven't seen that, but I did hear about this straight to TV movie, so just because I heard about that one. I mean, can we call it like a double knockout? I don't care about this one. Thor Love and Thunder or Spider-Man the Dragon's Challenge. The only reason why I'm going with Thor Love and Thunder is just because I haven't seen Spider-Man the Dragon's Challenge. But Thor Love and Thunder is going to get knocked out probably then in the next round. So it's not going to be here that long. Blade House of... I don't even know how you pronounce that. And Deadpool Korg React. That one was funny, so I'll go with that. Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, or Marvel Rising. I do have that movie, and it's a pretty decent animated movie. Captain America, versus Men in Black International. I only ever watched Men in Black International once, and that was in theaters, and I've never revisited it since. I have it on 4K, but never rewatched it. So, but I've watched a little bit of this, a little nostalgic, so that's the only reason why I go that, but that's not going to go super high. Nightman, never heard of that, so we're going to go Return of the Incredible Hulk here. Man-Thing or Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass 2. Captain America 2, Death Too Soon, or Iron Man and Hulk Heroes United. Really haven't seen either of these, so it's pretty much a double count up, but I'll go with this one. Deadpool Wolverine versus Daredevil. I like the Daredevil, unlike most people, don't get me wrong, it still has plenty of issues, but there are Deadpool Wolverine, easily one of my favorites in the MCU, is moving on. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer or Captain Marvel? I'm gonna go Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I do like Captain Marvel, but it's one of my least favorites of the MCU. But Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, the chemistry is even better with that one, with all the teammates. Fantastic Four from 1994, X-Men Apocalypse. Captain Invincible, Captain America: First Avenger. What we got here? Madam Web or Frankenstein: Legend of Terror? Haven't seen Frankenstein: Legend of Terror, so Madam Web moves on. But I won't go there very long. Big Hero 6 or this one? Big Hero 6. Ant-Man the Wasp or Venom? I'm gonna go Ant-Man the Wasp just because that Venom, the first Venom, is a little slower. But I still like that one. Hard Case, and never seen that. And okay, I do remember watching that vividly, so I'll go with that. Eternals or The Incredible Hulk? The Incredible Hulk is one of the most slept-on MCU movies of all time. I thoroughly enjoy that, so we're going to go with that. Red Sonja, never seen it. Multiverse of Madness, moving on. Blade 2, okay, now Blade 2 is where it's at. That is moving on. Even better than the first movie, in my opinion. Ant-Man versus X2. Now, this is really close, too. I think overall as a whole, even though I really enjoy the first Ant-Man, I'm going to go X2. No. It's really tough. Okay, I'm going to go X2. Before I change my mind. Hulk versus Wolverine or Thor Ragnarok? Thor Ragnarok. Hulk versus Thor or Marvel Rising? Hulk versus Thor. Spider-Geddon, I don't care. Haven't seen either of these. Incredible Hulk. By default, I never watched the TV pilot for the Incredible Hulk show, but Captain America: Brave New World moves on. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or Avengers: Age of Ultron? This is tough again. For the reason why I'm gonna do what I'm about to do is just because Avengers: Age of Ultron, the one thing that holds it back is it feels very overstuffed. So, for that reason, I'm picking Guardians 2. Sorry. Winter Soldier or Spider-Man 2? Ooh! Man. Why? This is really tough because these are like amongst my favorite comic book movies of all time. Man. I might have to go. Sorry, Captain America: Winter Soldier's among my top 5 favorite comic book movies of all time, so that one goes there. Okay, now we move on to round 2 for, this didn't have Thunderbolts. This has, like, a random assortment of movies here. Haven't seen either of these, but I guess I'll go Planet Hulk, because that one's that one's not rated. Multiverse of Madness. Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, I love that Phineas and Ferb short movie, but Thor Ragnarok, moving on. I'll move on. Hulk from 2003. Not gonna move on quite that far, but, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, or Spider-Man: Spider-Verse, of course. X-Men: Days of Future Past, Thor 2011. I like the first Thor, but X-Men: Days of Future Past I love. Kick-Ass versus Doctor Strange. I'm going to go Kick-Ass here. Ghost Rider versus X2. X2 moves on. I almost said Ghost Rider moves on, but no. Guardians of the Galaxy or Madam Web. Duh. Guardians of the Galaxy Madam Web is absolutely terrible. But kind of in a good way sometimes. Big Hero Baymax returns. We'll go with that. Howard the Duck or Avengers. Need I say more? Captain America: Brave New World or Kick-Ass 2? Kick-Ass 2. Kingsman or Argyle. I haven't seen the Kingsman, so Argyle moves on here. Fantastic Four: First Steps or Ant-Man the Wasp? Wait, didn't we have Ant-Man the Wasp already? Well, regardless, I'm still going Fantastic Four: First Steps. Thor: The Dark World or Iron Man 2. Both flawed, but Iron Man 2. That was closer than you might think. Punisher, Hulk versus Thor, Punisher. Blade 2 or Kraven the Hunter, Blade 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Morbius. Well, this is where Morbius's run ends. Amazing Spider-Man 2 or TASM 2 moves on, if you will. X-Men versus Deadpool and Wolverine. Sorry, I love Deadpool and Wolverine. That's easily in my top 5 favorite MCU movies, or top 10, one of the two. Black Widow or Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder, easily for me the worst MCU movie we've ever gotten, so Black Widow moves on. The Incredible Hulk or Kingsman the Secret Service. I'm going to go Kingsman the Secret Service, even though I do think The Incredible Hulk is slept on. Men in Black 2 or Marvel Spider-Man Men in Black 2. Captain America the First Avenger. Yeah, Captain America. Moving on. Spider-Man No Way Home. X-Men Apocalypse or Captain America Winter Soldier. Team Thor or Avengers Time Twisted. I'm going to go Team Thor. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But slightly Big Hero 6, I'll say, but that's a good special either way. I'll go with the one shot here. Guardians 2 over that one. Spider-Man Far From Home, not by a huge margin, but still okay. Men in Black, Kingsman the Secret Service, moving on here. Deadpool, Wolverine, or Okay, here comes the hate train coming. The only thing holding... Oh, my gosh. I'm just going to say Deadpool Wolverine. Sorry, I love Deadpool Wolverine. But I love Spider-Man No Way Home, too. The only thing that holds it back from me picking it is just because I think the setup's a little weak, how everything's set up. But other than that, it's still great movies, okay? So, don't get mad at me. Big Hero 6 or Spider-Man from Far From Home. Big Hero 6. Spider-Man Spider-Verse. Oh, the two Spider-Verse movies going right next to each other. That's kind of cool. I'm going to go across the Spider-Verse here. Punisher, Argyle. I'm going to go Punisher. Kick-Ass or Fantastic Four First Steps. Fantastic Four First Steps is the new dog, but Kick-Ass is moving on. Blade 2 or Iron Man 2. Blade 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to go... slightly TASM 2. Guardians of the Galaxy or Black Widow. Guardians of the Galaxy. Kick-Ass 2 or Planet Hulk. I'm going to go Kick-Ass 2. Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, the Avengers. This is where Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer's run ends, and going the Avengers here. Hulk from 2003 or X2. I'm going to go X2. One Shot versus Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, cannot speak. X-Men Days of Future Past moves on. Thor Ragnarok or Baymax Returns. Thor Ragnarok. Captain America movies battling each other, but Winter Soldier moves on for me. Okay, we're on the last little run here. Kick-Ass versus Punisher. Kick-Ass. Big Hero 6, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past. Blade 2 or Deadpool Wolverine, slightly Deadpool Wolverine, but I still love Blade 2. Captain America the Winter Soldier or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Captain America the Winter Soldier moves on. X2 or Thor Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. Avengers or Kick-Ass 2, Avengers. Guardians of the Galaxy or Kingsman the Secret Service. Guardians. Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Cross the Spider-Verse. Cross the Spider-Verse. Oh, another tough battle here. This is tough. This is so sad. Man. If Across the Spider-Verse didn't end so abruptly for a part 1, I would have picked it, but I know I'm probably going to get flack for that, but it's my list. Anyways, Thor Ragnarok or Deadpool Wolverine, this one's pretty close too. I'd say these two are neck and neck. Both deserve to move on. You know, I'm going to go Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna go Thor Ragnarok over Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine had a good run, but I'm gonna go with that. Love Guardians of the Galaxy, but X-Men Days of Future Past is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Kick-Ass versus the Avengers. Oh gosh, this is gonna get me killed in the comments. Sorry. Captain America, Thor Love and Thor Ragnarok, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Kick-Ass versus X-Men Days of Future Past. X-Men Days of Future Past. And here we go. Some of my favorite comic book movies of all time. This was a tough battle. Maybe we can do a part 2 to this where we get another random assortment of movies because, like I said, there's a ton of different movies on here. They just couldn't all fit here. So, but for me, X-Men Days of Future Past is the winner and is my personal favorite of the Marvel movies here. So, there you go. I selected it. That was really, really tough to do, but let me know, ladies and gentlemen, how you enjoyed this video, and maybe we'll do another one down the line on some other movies, possibly, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace out.